Hi everyone, welcome back to Islam Unboxed. Today I will be talking about the person who changed the Bible. Who is it? Who did it? Muhammad, of course. Or some people believe he was the prophet. Okay, Prophet Muhammad. Fine. Muhammad took stories from Old Testament, from the Torah, from the Tanakh, from the Jewish Bible, and he also took stories from the New Testament, the Gospel, Christian Bible, and changed them. Why? Because he could not remember everything he was told, and he did not know all the stories from the Bible. And I suspect that he did not like some of the endings. The end of some of the stories in Bible, he did not like it. So he changed it. For example, Jesus died on the cross, came back to life, and ascended to heaven. He did not like the fact that Jesus was crucified, knowing that crucifixion is a cruel punishment. He changed the story. He skipped the flogging. He skipped the crucifixion. Therefore, there's no resurrection. He just went straight to ascension of Jesus. And on the ascension of Jesus, he just said, "Oh, Allah saved Jesus." Muhammad was not, well, he was definitely smarter than the average Arabs at the time, but he himself actually not that smart. So when Waraka, or the cousins of Khadijah, when Waraka ibn Nawfal died, his death definitely screwed him up. Waraka was believed to be the translator of Bible into Arabic. So he told Muhammad some of the stories in Bible. But again, Muhammad could not remember everything. That's why the stories in Quran have no ends nor beginnings. Some of the stories similar to Bible stories, but somewhat twisted and have different endings. Now, when a story told by two different sources become different, we should investigate why. Now, in this case, why Quran different from Bible? Some of the stories, or almost all the stories, different. Actually, I'm sorry. What did I say? What am I saying? All the stories are different. Very little similarities. So we have to investigate why. First, I would like to remind you all that he was married to Khadijah, a rich woman who was 15 years older than him. In the beginning, he worked for her. Khadijah was married twice prior to her marriage to Muhammad. And I do truly believe that Muhammad was an honest worker. After Khadijah's second marriage ended up in divorce, Khadijah married him. Yeah. So Muhammad status went up a little bit, right? But he still did not have control. Why? Because it was all owned by Khadijah. She was a trader. She owned caravans, many workers, many camels. For sure, people respected Khadijah as a businesswoman who had money. Muhammad did not have the control in the house. It was all under Khadijah's control. This answers why Muhammad was monogamous when Khadijah was alive. Right? because he could not do anything. He did not have control. And this lack of control, I do believe, triggered him to marrying a 6-year-old girl. A 6-year-old who could not talk back. All I do believe all he wanted was some respect and control in the beginning when he was not a prophet. So yes, his status went up because Khadijah married him, but he still had no control over anything. If any Muslims told you it was the reason of for Muhammad to marry a 6-year-old is an allegiance, then you should not believe that, because Abu Bakar had a 10-year another daughter who was 10 years older than Aisha. Her name was Asma bin Abu Bakar, and she was single. She was married about 10 years after Muhammad became a prophet, between 10 to 12 years. So at the time, she was a single. Muhammad could have married her, right? And some other sources actually even say that she was 13 to 19 years older than Aisha. Anyway, she was single, right? Until the Hijrah, or until Muslim emigrate from Makkah to Medina. Just before the immigration, Az-Zubair ibn al-Awam married her. Now, please remember the emigration due to persecution against Muslim. I know, but of course, the persecution started because Muhammad mocked the pagan gods. So now back to the marriage, right? So it was control. So he married a 6-year-old due to lack of control when Khadijah was alive. This is to reverse or to turn the table. So he heard stories from Bible about prophets, Jewish prophets, and it's inspired him to be one. As if I heard stories about how this person became a doctor, it inspired me to be a doctor or an astronaut, right? But to be a prophet is different thing. God chooses the prophets. By the way, um, I think he thought to himself, prophets are followed by their people. I want to be like them. And since most stories he heard from Bible, from Waraka, he he changed them, right? And he could not follow up. So sometimes he forgot because he changed too many things. He could not remember too many things, and he covered up with changing the stories. He did not like some of the endings, and he changed the stories, and he could not keep up. That's why Quran is all over the place. The message from Quran, or the message of Quran, is so inconsistent. For example, Allah said Jews must follow Torah and the Christians must follow gospel. But then Allah said to Muhammad that Islam is a religion that is perfected by Allah. So now, why would Allah let Jews and Christians follow religions that are not perfected? If the message Jesus brought us, the messages were not perfect, why Allah let us follow Jesus, right? And then after that, Muhammad was also he was driven by all his own desire, right, to be a prophet, to be a leader, and then the greed took over, and he was angry at the Jews and the Christians because they did not take him as their prophet. That is why he cursed them, and he wanted them to be out from Arabian Peninsula. Things like this, and if someone today um, told me that he is a prophet, then I would I would have to investigate his life. I would have to read, or I mean, like, to see if the person is alive, right? I have to see his life. Like, there's no way Allah told me I can only marry 4 women, and then the prophet who told me that Allah said that had 11 wives. There's no way. Why would the prophet had more wives? Why uh, a prophet has more quote unquote benefits than me? If we are all human beings, we should have the same benefits. We have to follow the same rules. There's no way Allah told me to have that I can marry 4 women, and then the prophet marry 11. That is insane. God, if Allah is God the creator, if Allah is God who created the universe, then I believe Allah would be fair. But this is not fair. And for, we're not even talking about why Allah told us how many we can marry. Why he instead of telling us to be good, you know, to be spiritual, why Allah talking about this kind of thing? I don't even know why. So I hope if there's any Muslim listening to this, please pray to God before you recite your Quran, or in between the prayers you pray, or during your tahajjud you should pray that so Allah or God show you the way. Ask God, is this true or not? That's all from me. Thank you for listening. God bless you all and have a nice life.